Your Minimax final then pits Mackenzie Douglas alongside Harry Linden on the front row. Stephen Duncan is alongside Bryn Collins on row 2. Chloe Chong is in 5th and Pearson Bullock Carter in 6th place on the grid. In 7th, Aaron Full with Jay Lawrence in 8th alongside him. Row 5 sees Jacob Gilman alongside Harrison Crowther, with then Alfie Gallagher and Michael Porter on row 6. And at the back of the grid, making up the last 2 positions, Mason Perrin and Ben Crossley.
Who knows, innit?
So Minimax up next then, as we can see the drivers. They're quite early into their karts, ready and sat down, as number 24 of Douglas Mackenzie on pole in the grid. He will be starting on the optimal side of the grid alongside the O-plate of Harry Linden, who has shown on many occasions around Clay Pigeon Raceway just how competitive he can be. And with Douglas Mackenzie up top though, and alongside him is going to prove a tough opponent. But 14 drivers we can expect to start this race. Race number 19 of this weekend, and the final for the Minimax once again with each of the Rotax classes. Micromax are up next, not officially part of the Rotax calendar as of yet, but for the rest of the classes will be their final championship round next month. So we look forward to that one. Anthony's rejoined me again.
I'm back. I'm out of breath slightly. It was a long run down there to the scrutiny review from the commentary box. I wasn't as fit as I once was. I need to get. It's like
I feel that.
Yeah, being in a commentary box, sitting down all day, sometimes standing up all day. Yeah, it's wearing off. It's getting on to me. But yes, here we go then for the next final of the day. Of course, the Minimax. We saw some great racing earlier on today, and we had the privilege of having Chloe Chong, one of the Minimax drivers, joining us on the track walk yesterday, which you've seen a couple of times today. And yes, we can see them all there, lined up, ready to go, having a quick chat with the number 24. You can see there on your screen, that is Mackenzie Douglas for Coles Racing. I've got the pre-final grid in front of me, I haven't got the final grid. But, there you go, you've got it there. Let's find, yes, a lot of this one. Harry Linden starting second place. Yeah, you can see him there in the background, looking primed, ready to go. And I think as people start to get out the way, they are going to be lined up in just a moment to head out for their final. Chloe Jessica on the stream says, well, they still can't say Hingley right. Right, how do you say it?
Feel free
so,
to...
someone come to the commentary box and tell me what we're doing wrong. I'd love to know.
Because I want to comment your pronunciation.
Yeah. I'd love to get it right. So please, someone come and tell me how I say it right.
that was exactly what Maggio Hamera came up
earlier,
exactly,
right?
Yeah,
exactly.
He
told me how to say his name, and there you go. Now I know how to say Maggio Hamera's name. There we go. So, Phil getting ready. Last couple of checks then on the number 16 that you can just see there. Just making sure everything's tucked in, ready to rock and roll. Bit of a delay to this one. When is the start time for this race? Minimax final start time is 15:15 the hour, which is in 3 minutes' time. So everyone was primed, ready on the dummy grid very early on. So that's very, very good there. So all lined up. We had it earlier. It was a round. It was the first round of the series. The 2020 season kind of kicked off with the XS line. It was we had it there. Some of the drivers missed the start of the race, so they missed. I think it was the pre-final that they missed. They didn't get to the dummy grid in time, and they missed out on their race. So they're very strict on when you are on time. But everyone here primed, ready to go.
Yeah, in the karts early as well.
Yeah, they were
the 177s. I think it was their pre-final. They waited till about 10 seconds before the race before they hopped in their karts. But different story for the Minimax.
It is indeed a different story. They're primed, ready to go. They're an eager bunch of drivers, are the Mini Max grid. And, of course, with Mini Max, again, just trying to find a piece of paper. There they are, with the Mini Max. 14 of them primed and ready to go. Obviously, the O-plate of Harry Linden, Dan Holland Racing, the Alonso chassis. Very nice chassis. I've not driven one, but I've seen many of them. They look very comfortable things to drive. A lot of these drivers going for the Tony Kart chassis, of course. They're a very favourite kind of chassis out there. The Cosmic chassis as well you've got. And that's where it kind of falls in. So KR Sport run Tony Kart chassis on some of them. So some of them that run kind of what am I looking for? Cosmic chassis. But the stickers, like I said, they look identical. So it's really hard to put them away. So yeah, someone needs to design a new sticker plate for either one of those teams because it will make massive sense. There we go. So
a lot of ease from a commentary point of view as well.
Yes.
If they could do that would be great.
Yes. So there's another look at the Motorsport UK truck. As the karts are going to be lined up ready to come out soon. I'm waiting to see the green flag appear. I can see the green flag on track. Subsequently, the green flag will be released in the pit lane in just a moment, I suspect. And these karts will be heading out on track in just a moment. Paul Kopp says Vortex is better. There we go. Each to your own opinion. Yeah. There we go. But out of the pit lane now we go for the final for Mini Max and long-awaited final. Quite a popular grid of drivers in this one. As we start, they make their way through to start their warm-up lap. Of course, Mackenzie Douglas, the 24 starting at the front. Harry Linden, the O-plate, also on the front row. Oh no, the O-plate of Harry Linden is not starting on the front row. Is now starting at the back of the grid after spinning out of turn number 5, the horseshoe. That is a disaster in the final for Harry Linden. Are we going green flag this time? We're not. It is a false start. So we are going around again. Is that going to allow? Yeah, is that going to allow Harry Linden to get back up to his original spot? He's got a lot of places to gain before he gets back up into that spot. Diving through the field now. Hopefully he doesn't spin again to get back up to the top, but hopefully we get going this time around. So here we go then. Final time, take 2. Let's have another go. As they enter the final couple of corners now. Is he back in second place? He is. So he's managed to get it done. Here we go then. Final time. No, it isn't. It's another false start. I believe it's another false start. I'm seeing other things on the board. The lights have stayed on. I've got no green lights, and they're not racing, are they? Doesn't look like it. There is confusion out here. No, they are. I think they're stopping. I think they're going around again. Are they going around again?
They look like they're.
They look like they're full on racing, but I've got no green flag on my screen. It's all still formation,
yeah,
lad.
I don't think they were aware.
Yeah, they're going around again. They're going around again. It was a false start, right?
Yeah.
That was quite a bit of confusion there, but it looked like a good start. But I think they went a little bit too early again. So we're going to try third time's a charm. That always sounds better. Third time's charm is always the one that works, isn't it? Yeah, it's the third time's charm that does it.
Well, let's just hope these warm-up laps are just warming us up for a thoroughly entertaining final here, which I'm sure the Minimax are going to bring us.
Exactly, that's what they're doing. They're just edging us along ever so slowly.
Teasing us.
Yes, they are. Teasing us into the final. They are indeed for Minimax. So Minimax has had quite a few restarts or false starts this weekend. Finger pointing going on by some of the stewards out on track. That was your fault. No, I'm sure that's not what he said. But it looks like we're getting lined up then Third time's a charm then for Minimax. Let's see if we can get the final underway here at Clay Pigeon. It's the last time we're here. And across the line, and it's green flag, and away we go in towards turn one. It's a good start. Harry Linden moving up now straight away into the lead at the start. You can see Full as well, trying to get down the inside on the number 31. On the inside, can get it done through the chicane, moving up another position as well. In towards turn number 4 we go now, and again, everyone's still side by side through that section there. The 77 and the 40 coming together slightly, the 48, so Harrison Crowther and Jacob Gilman squabbling together through that section. 14.5 minutes to go as we enter the final corner. The number 12, Bryn Collins, has managed to do quite well, holding on to that 4th place spot. Across the line, there's the order on your screen. Linden, Douglas, Duncan, Collins, Chong. Then it's Bullock, Carter, Full, Lawrence, Gallagher, Gilman, Crowther, Porter, Crossley and Heron. That is the order as they finished the first couple of laps. In towards turn 4 again. No one going for an overtake this time around.
No, Linden definitely will be relieved that that was a false start, because he definitely wouldn't be this high up the order if it wasn't. And, well, in the lead of the race now, has got the better of Mackenzie Douglas in the race down to turn 1. And, well, here we come out at the top end once again now. This for the 3rd time in this race. Well, several, including the several formation laps we had along the way. But Harry Linden, once again, it's no surprise really, but all of the O plates have done superbly well in each of the classes today, and Harry Linden is proving no exception to that rule. Douglas in 2nd place. It seems like those two have split off a little from the rest of the pack. Is Stephen Duncan in 3rd with Bryn Collins and Chloe Chong in 5th place. She's holding her ground in the middle of that pack at the moment, with Pearson Bullock Carter there as well, who was really racy in the pre-final and then dropped off a little bit towards the end. Ended up finishing 6th. Might be a little bit disappointed with that. Chance for a bit of avenging to be done to try and finish a little bit higher up the order this time.
Indeed. So 3 laps gone so far. Harry Linden, the O plate, fastest lap of the race, 35.920 for the young driver. Looking down the inside goes the 18 of Chloe Chong. Gets past Bryn Collins, or gets past one of the drivers there. Here's a look further up, the 48. This is Jacob Gilman behind Ben Crossley at the moment. Down in towards turn number 1. Side-by-side action, though, at the front. The 24, Mackenzie Douglas, gets past the O-plate of Harry Linden through the first corner and into the chicane. On the outside goes Linden, tried to get the switch back again very quickly, couldn't quite do it. So Mackenzie Douglas, fastest lap of the race, and also gets the lead.
Very good lap from Douglas's point of view. Harry Linden will be determined to try and reclaim that position, but they just had a little bit look behind them once again, could try and use the ethos of let's work together to try and escape further up the pitch. Linden will be activating that sort of mindset at the moment, but he has got quite a big gap back to Chloe Chong now internally, who is up into 3rd, so she's having a good race towards the end of the day here. And it is Bullock Carter who's climbed up to 4th now. Stephen Duncan losing a couple of positions actually in the last lap or two. And there is Chloe Chong just heading into the top bend now, actually out of Buttons. Having a little look behind as well as we continue looking at this battle for 3rd place. It looks like the number 15 is going to get alongside. That's Bullock Carter on Chong. I think he's going to be able to do that. Doesn't drift out wide once again. Capable on the brakes. That's a good overtake there into Billy's blind. And that is Pearson Bullock Carter up into 3rd.
Indeed, nicely done. Ben Crossley, though, fastest lap of the race this time around, 35.420. The number 56 car currently in 8th place out in circuit, up 6 positions from the original starting spot, so doing nice and well there. But the front two, Douglas and Linden, nose to tail. Then here's a little further back. Here's Bullock Carter's up into P3 now. Chloe Chong P4, say P4, now P5, almost P6, and maybe even P7 as they go through the chicane. Oh, surely she's not going to lose another spot there as they exit out of the chicane. That was a disaster for Chloe Chong through that first sector. Dropped like a stone in a river, that was, and that was a huge shame as we went through that one. Little nudge through turn number 1, and then it's just a concertina effect, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just exactly what we've been talking about today, how when you lose one position, you lose more than just that one. So little time in the grand scheme of things, but so many positions because everyone's so bunched up together. That is the joys of karting for if you're behind, but a massive pain if you are on the receiving end of that one. And Chloe Chong, unfortunately, on that occasion, now has it all to do again. Was having a really good race up to that point, but unfortunately dropped down the order a little bit there. Just nothing you can do when you're in that position. You're in a non-preferable part of the circuit. You're on the outside of the corner, perhaps, and there's just driver after driver, and they have to find their way through. And there's no way you can go two abreast into the S's there. You have to find your way through. As dives up the inside, does Linden. Goes a little bit too wide, though. That grants the opportunity for Mackenzie Douglas to reclaim the lead. Now then, getting a little bit racier, these two. Looking very competitive in the, well, heading towards the sort of middle section of the race now. Douglas and Linden don't want to get too vicious at this stage. Still want more to give come the end of the race, but a little teaser into what we can perhaps expect to see from the top two.
Indeed it is. There is Aaron Full there, the 31, piling on the pressure on the number 15, Pearson Bullock Carter, pulling out of the slipstream, looking to the inside of the first little kink of the start-finish straight in towards turn number 2. And the rest of the field just slotting through. No one going for a lunge just of yet. The 14 going to the outside. Crossley, another fastest lap of the race, 35.360. Now in 7th place, up 7 positions at the moment. So slowly moving up the field as we watch this group at the moment. There is the 56. Of Ben Crossley just behind these drivers. There's just, just watching, waiting to see what happens. There's still 8 minutes in this. There's still plenty of time. I say that. He's got the fastest lap of the race, but then he's just got given a black and white flag. So maybe, what was that for?
Yeah, swings and roundabouts there, I think, for Ben Crossley, but won't be too concerned, I don't think, over that black and white flag, or shouldn't be, unless he intends on any more reckless driving, or it was deemed by the marshals on that occasion anyway. But well, Douglas and Linden still very close together at the top, but we're just focusing our attention at the moment. Pearson Bullock Carter, he leads the race for 3rd at the moment, but 4th, 5th and 6th are so close behind, and all very tight between the two. The number 56 and 16 is Duncan and Crossley, very close together. They were, again, in that little left-hand kink on the pit straight alongside one another, and I think it was Duncan who managed to find his way through, so Crossley just dropping a position there. Looks as though it's Bullock Carter still in charge of this one at the moment, though, with the number 31 in behind. Aaron Full is still right there for the taking, but now, if he does overtake, probably a good thing is for Pearson Bullock Carter is now separated out a little bit, and he might only lose that one position.
Indeed, he might. 7 minutes left on the clock then, as we watch this battle ensuing here. And of course, with all this squabbling going on, it is allowing the two at the front to pull away. The gap now between top 2 and this pack that we're seeing here, 3.2 seconds, and that's something that you don't usually see in a final. Usually it's very close at the top end, and yeah, they're kind of broken away. They get my words out as they go through. 6.5 minutes left on the clock then, and they exit the final corner back onto the start-finish straight. Still leading this pack is Pearson Bullock Carter in 3rd place. Aaron Full just behind, but under pressure from the 56 of Ben Crossley in 5th place. Again, he's up 9 positions. He's at a cracking race at the moment, looking very strong out there. Is Crossley for Vision Motorsport. Looking to the inside here at the horseshoe, bit of front-to-rear contact, almost getting his front nose cone caught within the rear bumper of Aaron Full there. Couldn't quite do anything as they exit through, and now he's under pressure from Stephen Duncan, again his teammate, in 6th place, just behind. Any slight mistake he may make could have a very quick result in losing positions, as we saw earlier on with the number 18, this part of the circuit, in this group as well. But Chloe Chong still in there, in the mix in this group, wanting to capitalise and get back up that order, and you can just see her there at the back of this one. But still looking very racy down the inside, the 14 of the 16, nicely done. So that's Alfie Gallagher moving up into 6th position. There is support on the stream for Alfie Gallagher there from his fans at home. So good to see that on the stream. 5 minutes left on the timer then. The gap between Mackenzie Douglas and Harry Linden at the front is very nose to tail, and as I say it, we cut to it here. in towards the hairpin now. Through the horseshoe, the double apex again, absolutely nose to tail, not swapping any paintwork here, or stickers, as I should say. It's not really paintwork, it's stickers on plastic bumpers. So as they exit now onto the start-finish straight, and absolutely nose to tail, nothing between them. Again, not squabbling, just not going for any overtakes, staying in that single file position. This is the battle that's keeping our eyes interested, though, and that is this battle for second place. How many karts are involved in this one? 4, 5, 6, 7? 7 karts all for second place.
Yeah.
Oh, third, I should say.
What a watchable event this is turning into. This Minimax final here, if this is anything to go off, I'm sure the PFO final, when the stakes are even higher, that's going to be a brilliant one to watch as well. But Bullock Carter, well, has Crossley. I think he's just got past Aaron Full there, so he's now the closest opponent to Pearson Bullock Carter. Has a quick look behind. He'll be able to see that it is now the number 56 instead of the 31, who's right in the would-be rear-view mirrors if they had mirrors on Kart. And it's Gallagher then in behind in that battle as well. Chloe Chong, who dropped a lot of positions in that one sort of series of corners, but has done well to kind of claw back up the order and right on the back of this chain of karts as well. Always a chance to get through as Crossley dives up the inside at the horseshoe of Pearson Bullock Carter and makes quick work of the number 15, something Aaron Full wasn't able to do, having been behind the number 15 for so long. But Crossley up into third now.
Yep, nice move there into the horseshoe and wanting to close that gap up. The gap now 5.2 seconds to the two up ahead of Douglas and Linden, who are still, again, nose to tail out on circuit. So that's going to be a tall order to try and get in front. Has a big look over the shoulder just to see the gap, and is already starting to open a gap.
Alfie Gallagher then with more support on the stream. I'm sure we can check that out as well. But there we go. Douglas still ahead of Linden. It's not yet threatened to boil over as such. Again, I think the two of them just working together, but you'd imagine that Linden would certainly attempt an overtake by the end of this race. Crossley now leading this battle for third. Fourth is Pearson Bullock Carter with Aaron Full in fifth place. Sixth, Alfie Gallagher. And seventh place, Chloe Chong, who's still right there in the mix as well, along with Bryn Collins, who's also part of this pack. And it's very interesting to look at the divide, actually, from first down to sixth. All of those karts have either retained or improved on their positions, and everyone from 7 downwards has lost positions over the course of the race so far. So evidently right in the mixer there as far as grid positions have been concerned in this final.
Yeah. Eyes are back on the front two again, Douglas and Linden. They were getting a bit scrappy through the first couple of corners that time around. Again, just eyeing up what he's going to do in those last minute or so. We are 2 minutes remaining of the race, so we're nearing that time of what's going to happen for the lead. We exit the final corner again. This is where Linden has been looking to get past Douglas.
Yeah, he is, and now he does make the manoeuvre at Billy's, but he drifts out too wide, too heavy on the brakes, and Douglas instantly reclaims that position. Well, if he didn't know he was there, he does now. Linden definitely makes his presence known at Billy's there, and so defensive into the hairpin, really reluctant to try and concede that straight away. And, well, them being very defensive is going to cost more time than if they were chopping and changing positions, really. You're so out of the racing line, you're going to lose a lot of time to now, is it Aaron Full? I think it's Ben Crossley, who still should be in third place. But these top two, Linden still having a little look as they go across the line and into Billy's. Is very defensive, and the number 77 is going very slow. That's a shame for Harrison Crowther. Looks like his race is over in this final. Shame to see there. Harry Linden couldn't get it done at Billy's once again, but into the hairpin. Surely he's not going to attempt it around the outside, and he doesn't. Douglas remaining ahead for now.
Yep, so still scrapping away. Down the inside, though, goes Harry Linden in towards the horseshoe. Gets the job done that time around. Now under pressure from Linden as they go, or from Douglas, I should say, as they exit the final corner. Are we going to see a lunge in towards turn one from Douglas? Across the line, here we go. Linden goes defensive. Holds that inside line, stops the car on the apex, but finds a way through. Does Douglas side by side through the chicane? Absolutely side by side, swapping paintwork on the wheels, forcing onto the grass, switches to the outside. Steady now, boys. You've got a lead of 2.5 seconds, but you've got to be careful because you're going to lose that lead very quickly. We're into the last 15 seconds of the race. Linden still leading from Douglas as they go through in towards the final corner now. I think is last lap board going to come out this time, or are they going to cross the line with the second remaining? They cross the line with 2 seconds remaining. Douglas gets a warning flag for that one through the chicane. Again, Linden goes defensive through turn number 1. He doesn't try and copy the move he did last time, does Douglas. Douglas stay behind as they exit through the chicane. A big look over the shoulder, covers the inside again, does Linden. Sideways, under braking, goes Douglas. Can't get the move done this time around into the hairpin. Last lap board's going to come out this time, though.
Yeah, what a race we're seeing here from these two. Definitely got a bit hairy that time, coming out of the S's onto the Sturmey straight. More than a few blows shared between the two. But the top two so close together, and you can see just from that shot there how much this has enabled third down to sixth to really reel in the top two. But Linden once again holding that inside line. He's got just to hold on for one more lap now in this Minimax final. Douglas just behind, heading down the Sturmey straight. Douglas having a little look over his shoulder. He's got to try and attack, but Linden's going to cover that inside line. Got to be careful not to drift out too wide at the hairpin. Into the horseshoe though go then for the final time. Once again, understandably taking that narrow inside line as Harry Linden doesn't want to give anything away here to Douglas in the closing stages. Ben Crossley is now right there in the race for the lead, but it's going to have to be one of these two, and I think it is going to be Harry Linden who's just going to be able to hold on to this with Douglas. He's going to put his hand in the air, but he nearly didn't win it, you know. Douglas alongside right at the end, but Linden does come out victorious.
Yep, very close then at the end. Harry Linden taking that win, only just from Douglas. And of course, Douglas did receive that warning flag for the side-by-side contact there through the chicane, but Linden holds on to that win for that one. So very well done to Harry Linden. There he is, the O-plate. 27 laps completed. Let's go see how tired he is after that.
Yeah. So, well, you try and tag him for an interview. It was a Welsh 1-2, actually. DHR from Coles Racing after 27 laps and 22 kilometres. Linden wins from Douglas. Ben Crossley in third. Fourth, Pearson Bullock Carter with Aaron Full in fifth. Sixth, Alfie Gallagher in the number 14. Seventh, Chloe Chong with Bryn Collins in eighth. Ninth, Stephen Duncan. Jay Lawrence in 10th place. 11th, Jacob Gilman with Michael Porter 12th. 13th, Mason Perrin, the privateer. And then Harrison Crowther finished in 14th. They did all manage to complete the 27 laps in the end, but Harrison Crowther was a fair way adrift. I think we saw him have an incident midway through that race and did end up finishing 16 seconds adrift of the main pack. So a shame there for Harrison Crowther come the end of that race. But it will be interesting to see between Linden and Douglas, because there was a definite scrap coming out of Billy's and into the S's with 2 or 3 laps to go. I think it was. There was definitely a little bit of argy-bargy between the pair. Interesting to see how the stewards perceive that one, and indeed if either of them will pick up a penalty along the way. If one of them was to incur the infamous nose cone penalty, the front fairing penalty, then you'd imagine it'd be more likely to be Mackenzie Douglas in that scenario, with the O-plate of Harry Linden provisionally at least taking the win here in this Minimax final. Next up is the Micromax, by the way, their final, with those incredible prizes they've got up for grabs in their final. Next up, race number 20 of this weekend. What a weekend it's been so far. We've still got 3 races left, the Micromax, Senior Rotax and Rotax 177. If you haven't already, I know that Anthony mentioned earlier, but please do go over and follow our Instagram page, British Kart Championships. We're about 62 followers, somewhere around that mark, away from 4,000 followers. It would be great if we could get there by the end of today. So make sure you follow that one on Instagram. Stay all up to date with the happenings with the British Kart Championship, as Anthony just tries to tag race winner in the O-plates, Harry Linden, and he's got him for an interview. He's going to interview him now. Over to Anthony.
We are indeed. So in the scrutineering bay again, Harry. Whoa, that was an exciting one, wasn't it? Right to the wire.
Yeah, me and Mackenzie Douglas really close until the end. Bit of a fight, but managed to come on top.
So we were watching it in the last couple of laps. It looked a bit scrappy through the chicanes. It was a lot of side-by-side, a lot of bumping, a lot of defensive driving, but Again, it came out on top, but it looked like a very, very tough race.
Yeah, it was really, really tough. Well done to all the drivers out there.
Yeah, a fantastic effort all the way through, but a bit of drama at the start. We had a couple of false starts. We didn't know if we'd gone, so it was kind of, do you know why that was? Do you think it was a bit too eager to get off the line?
I'm not too sure, because on the start, as soon as I come on the last corner, they were telling me to re-roll it, but they didn't for the rest of the corners. So we did about 3-4 laps on the start.
Well, plenty of time to warm those tyres up, wasn't it? But no, excellent. Well done on the win, and we'll see you on the podium later.
Thank you.
Hold on. Back to you.
Yeah, great stuff from the young man there. No doubt delighted after claiming that O-plate at the weekend as well. But Micromax will be next up, as once again Anthony will be returning to the commentary box after that interview here with Motorsport UK British Kart Championships, the penultimate round for the Rotax. They'll be at PFI next month for their final round of the championship. That's bound to be an exciting event. Obviously a slightly reduced calendar than we'd normally expect in 2020 thanks to coronavirus, but nonetheless we've had some brilliant races here so far at Clay Pigeon Raceway. Next up, the Micromax. The stakes so high, arguably even more so than any of the certified normal Rotax events, and therefore you'd expect to see some not necessarily desperate, although we may well in the closing stages, but some certainly high tension and high bearings racing from these Micromax drivers. At least now, no longer we don't have to worry about the weather too much. Seems fairly nailed on. It's going to be slicks for the rest of the day. These clouds have never disappeared overhead, but they haven't looked too threatening since the late morning, early afternoon with those downpours that did cause that initial mayhem.
Okay, so on to the Minimax podium. Again, a very close race at the end, but we have got our top three. Firstly, though, we'll start off with our top privateer of the round. So please, a huge round of applause for 6th place, number 12, Bryn Collins. I think, yeah, that one, privateer. Well done. Probably should have remembered that. I didn't, I'm very forgetful. On to then our podium. Oh, getting in the way. Again, a huge round of applause, please, for the number 31 Axel Motorsport, Aaron Fall. On to 2nd place. Huge round of applause, please, for the number 15, Pearson Bullock Carter. And finally, on to our race winner for the Minimax. A huge round of applause, please, for the O-plate of Harry Linden. Harry Linden also taking top rookie.